It's time for Ask the Expert, your chance to learn something new every day. Let's find out who our expert is today.
Hi, I'm David Reel, a Ventura County historian, author, and realtor, and I'm here at the Camarillo Ranch in this lovely January day with Miss Ana Blattel. She's the Vice President of the Camarillo Ranch Foundation.
Well, hi. It's so nice to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you.
It was a pleasure to finally meeting you.
Well, yeah. It's a pleasure's all mine. I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
As the Vice President of the Camarillo Ranch Foundation, I understand there's going to be an exhibit here in the near future.
Yes.
And I'd like to know the dates, and the subject of the exhibit is Isabel Camarillo, Adolfo's former wife.
Correct. Exactly.
Can you tell us a little bit about the exhibit and Isabella and why you're having it?
Yes, we are very excited to be having it because it just so happens that Isabel, who happens to be the former wife of Adolfo, Isabel is not really well known in the community. For many, many years, it's always been the focus on Adolfo, of course, because the city is named after him. So there's been a lot of people that really need to be known about.
Right.
Isabel being one of them. So January the 18th, we decided to do an exhibit on her, bring out all the facts about her, her life, even her death, and her life here. This was her home. So at that time, since there was nothing known about her, we decided to start a committee that will be taking care of finding these things out. As I said, it's the 18th of January, and the exhibit will be opened as a tea.
Right.
Why a tea? That's because she was a grand lady, basically, we find out.
Okay.
She was not a horse riding lady that would be riding horses.
Yes.
She dressed beautifully. She had a home in LA, and she spent a lot of time in LA. She had a chauffeur, and there's things that are not really known. We found this out by doing research. The exhibit will open, as I said, with a tea. We now have over 100 people that have signed up to come.
Fantastic.
We have closed the sale, and as it happens, we are very excited. The exhibit will be inside the house and it will run for a year.
So the whole exhibit is going to be inside the house?
Yes,
correct?
we have one room that's called the exhibit room. And
Okay.
that room is for exhibits.
Okay. And how many exhibits do you expect to have?
Okay, let me go back a little bit and tell you how exciting this is. When we started doing exhibits, there have been 4 exhibits. And I would like for you to know how it all began.
Okay.
We started with a person that's really not talked about either. That's Adolfo's brother, Juan Camarillo, which is Junior, right?
Yeah.
So we did an exhibit on him and it was very successful. We learned so much about him. And as it turned out, we said, who do we go to next? Who doesn't, what do we do? So we picked on the workers. No one knows much about the workers. So then we began to talk about the workers. You cannot believe how many workers showed up. From all nooks and crannies, they arrived. We now have a plaque that has been done in their honor that sits here in the ranch that people can see with their last names.
That's fantastic.
We have wonderful stories about them. So where do we go next? No one really talks much about who built this house.
No.
It's a beautiful house. Who built it? So that was our next exhibit, was architectural. We found that there's about 7 homes that are built by the same builder that actually built this home.
Okay.
So we did that one. And then where do we go next? So everyone talks about Sultan.
Right.
Sultan is the only horse that exists. No, there's a whole line of horses.
Right.
And so there are donkeys, there's brown horses, there's black horses. So let's bring them all.
Right.
Let's talk about the horses.
Let's include everybody.
The
Right.
little miniature ponies. So We did the horses, and not just settling on Sultan, all of them. It was so successful that we went to the fair and won a blue ribbon because of the horse exhibit. It is now took it down already. We are ready for the next exhibit. So I ask everyone, who do you think we would pick on next? And the first thing that I've gotten from people is, what about his wife? And so the
matriarch.
Yes, she is the lady of the house. She lived here, she raised her kids here. So we're doing Isabel. And I do hope that people know about her, and it will be here for an entire year. We will have it here.
Well, I don't know too much about Isabel myself. I'll tell you what I know, and if I'm wrong,
sure.
let me know. I know that she came from a fairly wealthy background.
Okay.
I know that Adolfo was more the Mexican side.
I think so, yes.
His ancestry was about 90% Mexican, but she was more Spanish than Mexican.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, yes.
And I also know, and I only know this because of my knowledge of Adolfo, about Isabel. But 1936 was a hard year for Adolfo.
Yes, it was.
Because he lost Sultan.
Yes.
He lost his brother.
Correct.
And he lost his wife.
Correct.
And I'm pretty sure she passed away in the cottage hospital in Santa Barbara, if I remember correct.
She did.
Because I read his diary.
Yes. And it was unfortunate. She had been sick for about a month, in and out of being taken care of, and she did pass away. It was rather sad. So, interestingly enough, we went looking for her birth certificate, her obituary, and it has been very, very difficult because of the same reason to where there's concentration basically on one person and nothing gets written that much about her. We've gone through all the exhibits before, so we know how difficult it is to find out. And I am sure you, as a writer and publish books, you probably understand how difficult it is to come up with the right things, because sometimes newspapers are hearsay, rumors. I will say a little bit that I don't really like rumors and hearsays.
Because they're not true.
Yes, when I do tours here, you get a really, truly nice tour.
Yeah.
Because I will tell people, if I tell you something, it is researched.
Yes.
If I say, people say that, it's not been researched. That in the research is not just newspapers. You have to have a lot of background.
Gotcha.
Isabel was an incredible lady. She liked to shop. She dressed beautifully. She was not the type of lady to be making tamales in the kitchen. She does not talk very much about raising the children. So it will be nice. She did like flowers. There's hearsay that she liked pink flowers. That's not really true. She liked flowers. So I would imagine that the house was lavishly decorated because of her. And they had people working for them.
Yes,
many people working for them. We know that from our worker exhibit.
Oh yeah.
There were many things. Anything else that you'd like to ask?
What are the inaccuracies about Isabel Camarillo? Number one. Number two, can you tell us some of the true stories about Isabel Camarillo?
Okay, very nice that you asked, because I have been at this house since we opened. There were about 6 of us, 6 dozens. You can imagine with us not knowing very much about the history or anything else, what would we be saying to the public? The first thing was that, and I'm saying myself also,
right.
We were telling people that they almost came off the boat from Spain.
Yeah.
We used to say they were Spanish, the lineage. We almost made them into royalty in reality. They were basically simple people. And the inaccuracy is this, and I want this known because it's important.
Very.
We used to tell that the family, a husband and a wife, believe me, we never talked about her before. Mr. Camarillo Sr., the father of Adolfo and Juan, came from Mexico to San Diego with a group of people by boat. And he was a tailor. We never said he was a tailor. We also, all of a sudden, he appears in Santa Barbara. Not so. They did stop somewhere around Los Angeles. And here was the wonderful story. How do we know this? That he had a wife and a child? Because in 2011, there was an article in the paper. They were digging in Los Angeles near a church for a parking lot, and they found his wife's coffin.
Wow.
Yes, isn't that fantastic? You did not know this.
I did not know that.
So therefore, they must have stopped there, where she died there. Now we go to Santa Barbara, and he starts his new life and gets married there, and everyone talks about that family. So what happens to the other Camarillos from the girl, from his daughter? She appears in the census 10 years later.
Wow.
And she's stepsister. So
Well, that's some amazing detective work right there.
that's a wonderful story.
Well, you come a long way.
And that's how I usually start my tours, not so long in verbiage, but just the knowledge
Yeah.
that it existed. And the other stories that we hear is, again, Sultan being the only horse of his dreams. He had many horses of
Yes.
his dreams. And so that he was Arabian. We used to tell Arabian, and finally they did a DNA. I think you knew that.
Yeah.
And it showed that he doesn't belong to any breed at all. We can call it a color breed, but we cannot call it a breed. Once a breed is established, then
That's
he could
it.
be called a
Right.
Camarillo White Horse breed,
Yes.
but it won't happen anytime soon. That was another biggie. And I would say that's two of the biggest ones that I would say that we were telling that was wrong. I have been asked many times over the 25 years here, well, what about ghosts?
Well, what about them?
We don't talk about ghosts.
No.
That's my answer.
Nothing supernatural, huh?
In case someone decides to ask.
Well, tell me, Ana, what do you think is the future of the Camarillo Ranch House?
Well, right now, for everyone to know, we are still, there's two actually organizations here at the ranch. We have Command Performance, who works very closely with us. We work very closely with them. They're putting on the food for the Isabel Exhibit. The other thing that I must say is that we now have an office person in the office. It's been slowly for us to reorganize ourselves. You know, there was COVID, and there was also the decision to run ourselves separately a little bit from the city. We're more on our own now, and we no longer have weddings that we oversee or big events here. Our focus, of course, is the docent program and history. Most of all, what we would like to see is history to continue like I am just mentioning.
Right.
I saw excitement in your face, and I know truly your big interest in history. We are not paid. My big drive is the history.
Right.
And to preserve true history, not just about the Camarillos. How do we take a spot in the history of California?
Right.
Where do we fit in?
Fit.
I would love to see us unite with other people and gather up information and share. That's what we would like to do. No matter how we get it, not just you having it or me having it, it's just sharing.
Yes.
There's always now digital pictures, copies. Let's do it.
Well, that's what nonprofits are for, sharing, right?
That's right.
Well, I thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Yeah.
And your information is invaluable, and I wish it was wonderful seeing you again.
Well, thank you.
So I hope to see you again, and
Well, hopefully we can continue
yes,
our connection. We love it. I like to make my stories funny sometimes. I tell a lot of funny stories.
Yeah.
It attracts the public.
well, where can we learn more about the Camarillo Ranch?
Right now, fortunately, we have our website. It is kept up, but my biggest thing is we need people. We need professional people, skilled people that come and have the interest, so that we can support our website. We can do changes. We can do more stories on it. Right now, you can go to the Camarillo.org, Camarillo Ranch. You can go on there, and there's a virtual, actually, thing that we did, a tour of the house virtually, so they can go there and look. And we now have a phone that they can call, that they can get more information.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yes.
It's going to be a
You're very
pleasure
welcome.
continuing our relationship with the historical facet of the house.
Well, it won't be the last time.
Well, thank you so much.